Generic greetings and welcome back once again to Prison Architect. This is the recently completed Psych Ward DLC, criminally insane and low risk facility that we have recently completed. As you can see, it is very, very green and I think actually a very nice looking facility. It's also not very secure, as the escape mode showed. We were able to tunnel out very easily, in fact within 5 hours, from the edge here, which is not surprising at all. But we also managed to tunnel from the very bottom, which was across and then right up through the sort of spine of this cell block and then out, and that was very, very easy as well. We also discussed the escaping via the blitz out attempt, which would be easy. The only other one that we could have possibly tried would have been fire, where we start burning things and that will break like the walls and all that sort of thing. However, because of the proximity and the gap we have between these walls, it's basically never going to burn the outer wall, so we'd still have to do a normal sort of way out, which is basically through the front door or tunneling. So we didn't attempt any more of that, so it was quite interesting to try, but we had our fun with that one. In this episode, we are going to do our extreme testing initiative and see what happens when we put this prison through various states of artificial stimuli. So things that may occur in the facility, things that are unlikely to occur in the facility, and things that are impossible to occur during the normal operation of running in this prison. So let's go over to our staff. I mean, you see we have all manner of options. We've got the Summer Special, which is basically everybody gains weapons of some kind: instant riot, instant jailbreak, instant fight, and instant calm. We are going to go straight for an instant fight and click. So what happens now is that every single person in the facility wants to start fighting. So the main place I want to look at is in here. Now let's have a quick look. Looking around over with the low-risk prisoners, you can see that they are starting to fight. They're just going to start punching things. And Featherstone! We have an Ed Featherstone. And obviously what will happen is the guards will start to come around and start to stop them. That's a thing. And we also have our legendary prisoner here, Felix, who is fighting the guard there. We don't have it on free fire, and I think we're probably best to put on because that's generally what we have around this area. The main place I wanted to look at, though, is around here, which is where we have our criminally insane wing, because as you can see, these prisoners are now fighting and they have a sedation level where, because of their fighting, and we have our orderlies here, they will come and sedate the prisoners. So instead of just shooting the prisoners or tasing the prisoners, they will try and sedate them as best as they can. And they have several deaths here, and it is actually from the criminally insane inmates. One of them is now being killed. We have a couple of people unconscious there, and the orderlies are doing their utmost to try and sedate all of them. And for whatever reason, armed guards have turned up. Although the armed guards, by the look of it, are heading elsewhere. Where are they heading? They're heading in here for some reason. Now that's something we didn't turn on. We don't actually have these guards assigned to anywhere around here, so I don't know why they've done that. But yeah, it looks like the sedation does work. We have a couple of people still fighting there. Ed Petit there. And we have some dead prisoners around here. Killed an armed guard with the shotgun. But if you look at these, they're all sedated. So for some reason the armed guards took it upon themselves to come over here and start firing some extreme sedation solutions, and yeah, that's actually the way to do it. You can see the orderlies are not only sedating the prisoners, they're also healing them. You can see that they're actually giving out healing there. Around the rest of the facility, we can see a lot of these cells are flooded because the toilets have been kicked in. We have a dog that is in a perpetual state of flux. Cat dog dog cat is very, very confused. That's actually on normal speed as well. And they finally unstuck themselves, that's fine. And it looks like, I believe, people have stopped fighting. That is not... And there's also a criminally insane inmate just having a casual bit of food over here. Danger level is still going up. Obviously they are searching prisoners and that sort of thing. You can see where prisoners were. So we've got all these weights benches damaged, all the bleachers damaged. The light there is all kinds of broken, although it's still illuminated, so it can't be that damaged. And overall, not a great set of issues. There's still a bit of fighting going on, you can hear it there, although it's still really nothing much to worry about. But that's what happens when you just fight. We sort of expected the low-risk prisoners not to put up too much of a fight, and we do have a taser rollout anyway, so that's fine. We were very... Well, I was very much looking forward to looking at the criminally insane wing and see what happens there, and it's good to see that the sedation mechanic is in play there, which is pretty good, although what was surprising is the fact that the armed guards were just very trigger-happy and came across and started... and then I started blasting meme with Danny DeVito, basically. Yeah, interesting. Okay, let us load up and see what happens when they instant jailbreak, which is try to get out. Okay, loaded up the same save, same time, same set of circumstances, but this time a slightly different riot behaviour. They are now trying to escape, so their goal is to get out of this facility as fast as possible. Some of them here will be fighting, however the majority, as you can see, are charging straight towards the front door. What is interesting is that the same is happening in the criminally insane area. So you can see that all of these criminally insane inmates are trying to get out. Now naturally none of them are taking the bridges because, well, that's just a death sentence. However, they are going through these fence gates and things like that we placed to fix the facility. This is a weak point. We knew it was a weak point. It wasn't even originally designed to be there, but because of the problems with the bridges and stuff, we had to do that. Now we've got 2 escapes there, and it says over on the left hand side, once again it says on the left hand side 2 escapes, well, we had that in the previous one. And where is that saying now? Down the bottom there. Let's see. Ah, they're just climbing out. That's all they're doing. So they're just climbing out. Okay. I didn't know they could just... I mean, I guess it does make sense that they can just climb out. And, ooh, that's a bit worse, isn't it? You notice that I haven't put any... I haven't put any lockdown or anything because I want to see what would happen without it. Some of the prisoners are using this rope trick and, well, at the moment fighting over the rope. But it's interesting to see that they can just happily just climb over the fence. So that's what would have happened on the far left towards the end of the build series. Maybe that's why a bigger fence, or rather not even a fence at all, maybe perimeter wall is better. So 14 escapes in total. That is actually a very low level of prisoners considering what we have. I wonder if a lockdown would work, and you can see they're still escaping there. I haven't yet done anything in terms of guard responses. I wanted to see what the prisoners would do and how the guards would fare, and it looks like we're pretty much going to be on about the right amount. Oh, I like the way that person there, Lacey, was trying to escape and they just got over the fence and then they were actually officially released, and now they are stuck in that corner because they can't get across, and looks like Featherstone's just had his head beaten in. And that seems to be about it. So less than 20 prisoners, or there or thereabouts, managed to escape there. Okay, fair enough. So that's what would happen if we did a straight escape. So it's interesting to see that they do actually get quite far, and the fact that they can just go over these fences. So they went round that way and then across. Still doesn't explain how someone managed to escape on that side previously. Did they go over that fence and then that fence? It is possible because we don't have anyone patrolling around here. So again, something I didn't expect, which is one of the reasons why we do this. We do this to test out the facility to see how secure or not that it may be, and also it's just a bit of fun. Anyway, speaking of that, let us go ahead and this time go for an instant riot. So instant riot, we shall see just how keen the prisoners are in fighting. Obviously, we have the low-risk prisoners, but the main one is the criminally insane wing. So already, the criminally insane prisoners in the canteen are rioting, and they are trying to take over this area here. Actually, no, just say status agitated, so they're just running around and rioting, but they're not attacking anyone. We do still have some people who are in need of sedation. Let's have a quick look up here. It looks like the prisoners are fighting and rioting and starting to take over the cell blocks. Now, that is not a surprise because we don't have anyone patrolling in and around the cell blocks. However, what is a surprise is that the prisoners in the criminally insane area, they are getting sedated. You can see there's people, the orderlies running after them with the syringes there. However, The ones in the cell block are just jumping up and down and generally, it says rioting. It does state that they are rioting there. But they're also status calm. They're not fighting. They're not stopping the sedation process. And they're not smashing things up as far as I can tell. Only this prisoner here, Andrew Winner, has got a bit of injury on them. And the rest seem fine. Either sedated. All these here just sedated. Yeah, they've all sedated. You know, all got the sedated and suppressed marker. So it's just around here then. So that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Oh, it looks like we've got John Smith there, who is currently fighting, although they've just given up there. Okay, so what we'll do is go to guard response and put a couple of guard response either side there. Try and take this back. 41 prisoners still writing, slowly going down. Obviously, writing means they just want to fight and break stuff. They're not interested in escaping. Not necessarily. They will escape if there's the opportunity, but with this artificial process, it's not always the case. Wonder how our legendary prisoner fared. Well, I can't see them, which means they're almost certainly in here. Not there. There. Yeah, they're actually being healed. That's fine. So, still some rioting happening. I've got a guard response to go in here, but they're not going in there. The problem is there's no guards free. There are very few guards free. So what I'll do is I will go for emergencies, 1 riot police, 1 set of paramedics. That's pretty much all we will require, I think. So get in there. You can see that it says green for them to go in, so they're happy to go in this area, whereas the paramedics are not. That has been immediately taken back, so we'll say now go there. Although, it doesn't want to do it for some reason. There we are. Still some people fighting. Ah. Still actually people fighting on the other side, so we'll send them further up. That should stop that. Keep sending them about. The riot is officially finished now. You can see that it's stopped in the centre. Not noting that anyone is currently rioting. So it's just a case now of going around, stopping anyone that's trying to fight. And most of this has been taken back. So once again, we expected the riot to do not a great deal, and it didn't because it's all low-risk prisoners. But what was very surprising was that the criminally insane inmates were rioting, but just running around in their cells. They did take over the canteen, but they were happy to have themselves sedated. They would wait for the orderlies to come along, get sedated, and then just stop. They didn't fight the orderlies. They didn't try to run away. They didn't try to break anything. They just sort of stood around a bit. So that's another bit of behaviour that we didn't expect, but it's interesting to see. Okay, it's time for the most extreme set of circumstances. This is totally artificial. You wouldn't get it in the facility unless you had no metal detectors and absolutely no searches whatsoever. And even then, a lot of this stuff that's going to be brought in is just not available in the standard game. We are going to arm every single prisoner in the facility. And let's see what would happen if every prisoner was armed with an assortment of weapons. We're going to pause it straight away to see what weapons we are talking about. Well, weapons and tools, technically. So we've got a drill, a shotgun, a submachine gun of some kind, like an Uzi or Mac 11 or something. We've got a 6-shot revolver there. We have a truncheon, or just a wooden truncheon there. We've got, what else have we got? Wooden baton, drill. If we look around over here, what's our legendary prisoner got? A 6-shot pistol. That's better than what they could have. They could have sniper rifles. Looks like fully automatic, what's that, like a M14, or in fact that's actually John Smith, prisoner with criminally insane trait, in and around here with an assault rifle. Okay, and you can hear said assault rifle go off. We've got, oh, it's not an assault rifle actually, it's Matt Hawkins with it looks to be an SMG of some kind. So we're going to have several deaths here. That is just to be expected. It looks like, however, that the prisoners are not want to fight. They are wanting to, oh yeah, that's our expected behaviour there from the legendary prisoner. It looks like their goal is to escape, and once again, one escape down the bottom here. So let's just see. It looks like, yes, none of the prisoners, even fully armed, you can see, look, we've got prisoner Cleef there with a sniper rifle. We've got loads of people with all manner of weapons and equipment. All they're trying to do is escape, and there's Evans there that stopped. sedation level on Felix. You can see they are trying to get over. It looks like they are trying to be sedated, but no, they have managed to escape. Kenzie's coming along to do the same thing, and most of the prisoners are wanting to simply escape, and here you go. They are now trying to run out the front door. So basically we can determine from this point that that door is a massive weakness. It means that any prisoner can go through here and then escape out over that fence. Not from the escape mode, but from the, standard play. And that's really the only, I guess apart from the tunneling which we've tried, that is really the only weak point. Oh, look at this. They've stopped and turned around and now going the other way. Ah, the reason for that is someone has placed a sheet over this fence. So that is now a faster way to get out. So they've turned around and they're now running out through that area. We could go for a guard response, but it's pretty much done with now. You can see that even though they're fully armed, they are not bothered about using these weapons unless people try and get in their way of escaping. That is their objective. If these were high-risk prisoners, then the majority of the time they would simply just start blasting and just do it that way. That is their preferred thing to do. And, just by default, they want to fight, and they will then fight, and then if they happen to escape, then fair enough. Whereas at the moment, because it's low risk, they are wanting to escape. They will happily run past. They will not stop and fight. And if they're armed, then they'll only use that to make people get out of the way to accomplish their objective, which is, like I say, getting out. Interesting to see the behaviour of the criminally insane inmates. What it has taught me is that basically the criminally insane inmates do still have we knew they had the traits of the normal prisoners, so it could be fearless and volatile and that sort of thing. However, because of their other criminally insane traits, so it might be insomnia or sickness or outbreaks or anything like that, then the other standard traits are somewhat muted, and because of the environment that they're in, whether it being in the padded cells with orderlies which are half guard, half medic, as well as all of the treatment that you run, they generally are less if they are treated and looked after, then they are nowhere near like their traditional counterparts with the same traits. So what we've claimed basically is that having a fully criminally insane prison is probably actually not that difficult, assuming you look after the inmates, and I'm probably going to regret that comment when we start a new series where we do all criminally insane. Either way, we have done the extreme testing initiative. We didn't see any behaviour that we wouldn't have expected normally in a low risk prison. However, it was the criminally insane wing that we were really looking at and seeing what they do, and there was some different behaviour. We found that the biggest weak point in the prison is probably that guard fence there, because they just go over and then jump over this section here. We also know that perhaps a road barrier down there would be of some benefit. And also, this as well, this jail door here, that is also a weak point, which, to be fair, we only placed in once again because the footbridges were glitched out and such. So basically, this jail door here and this jail door here, they wouldn't have been there, well, they weren't there on the original design. So I'm not trying to shift blame, but certainly, if it wasn't for the problems with the footbridges, we wouldn't have had that door. We wouldn't have had that door, so that would have cut out a lot of the weaknesses. Even if we had removed those, it would have still been a couple of escapes, I'm guessing, because of the amount of people that we have trying to get through the front door and the lack of armed guards and that sort of thing. We don't have any we don't have any armed guards. We don't have any sniper towers. I guess we could have called in the riot police and that would have been a bit easier, but we don't have any perimeter wall. We don't have any patrols around this area here to stop people that may get into the gap between the two fences there. We don't have any of that, and we also don't have any barbed wire on the outer fence. So yeah, either way, it ran exactly like we would have expected to. A low risk facility with some criminally insane inmates. Most of this wouldn't have happened. The whole point is prevention rather than reaction. So this wouldn't have really come to a head at this stage anyway, and even if it did, we can take most measures and whatnot to stop the worst from happening. But if it was to happen, we know that basically things get out of control fast. Either way, it's been interesting testing what this is like. Hope you have enjoyed this little mess around and the Extreme Testing Initiative. Hope you have enjoyed everything we've done so far with the Psych Ward DLC. More to still come, and we'll see what we can do in the next series. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.